And here's the update in Trump world. Judge allows lawsuits against Trump for January 6th to go forward, but somehow decided to toss cases against Rudy and Fredo, Trump Jr., if you will, reporting from CNN. Civil lawsuits seeking to hold Trump accountable for the January 6th insurrection can move forward in court. Now, that's kind of a big deal. I'll tell you why. And the ex-president doesn't have absolute immunity from litigation, a federal judge ruled Friday. Now, Trump has been claiming, and you can imagine, I got immunity. He claims that the actions taken, of course, he's the president. Trump's statements to his supporters before the attack on the U.S. Capitol, and here's the quote, is the essence of civil conspiracy, said Judge Mehta, M-E-H-T-A, more accurately, wrote in a 112-page opinion, because Trump spoke about himself and rallygoers working towards a common goal of fighting and walking down Pennsylvania Avenue. Here's the quote from Mehta. The president's January 6th rally speech can reasonably be viewed as a call for collective action. That's what the judge is now saying. This in a civil case. Democratic members of the House and police officers who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6th sued Trump. So this is the Democratic/cop lawsuit against Trump, claiming he prompted his supporters to attack Friday. Mehta wrote that the lawsuits could move to evidence gathering phase and towards a trial, a major loss in court for Trump. Oh, so sad for you, fella. To deny a president immunity from civil damages is no small step. This is the judge, Mehta, speaking in his decision. I'll repeat it so you hear it. To deny a president immunity from civil damages is no small step. The court well understands the gravity of its decision, but the alleged facts of this case are without precedent. No president has ever behaved so badly before. In essence, back to the decision of Judge Mehta. After all, the president's actions here do not relate to his duties of faithfully executing the laws, conducting foreign affairs, commanding the armed forces, or managing the executive branch. They entirely concern his efforts to remain in office for a second term. These are unofficial acts. So the separation of powers concerns that justify the president's broad immunity are not present here. Bring on the lawsuits is basically what the man's saying. The decision was issued in a trio of lawsuits filed after the January 6th Capitol breach, seeking to hold the former president and his allies accountable for the riot. I'd like to hear more about why the other allies weren't held accountable, but a little bit more here from CNN. When the Senate failed to convict Trump last year in the impeachment proceedings, examining his role in the attack, you remember what Mitch McConnell said? Who voted against convicting Trump. The minority leader McConnell voted against convicting Trump, but noted that civil litigation was the avenue through which Trump's conduct could be addressed. Two of the lawsuits were brought by Democratic House members, while a third was filed by Capitol Police officers. The lawmakers alleged that they were threatened by Trump and others as part of a conspiracy to stop the congressional session that would certify the 2020 presidential election on January 6, 2021, according to the complaints. They argue that Trump should bear responsibility for directing the assaults. And you get the point that the judge basically agrees with the contention of the plaintiffs, of the litigants here, at least enough to allow this trial to continue. Trump's legal team is likely to appeal the decision. Delay. That's all they ever do. If your client's guilty, delay is not a bad tactic, which was made at the trial level, D.C. District Court. Representatives for Trump didn't immediately respond to requests for comments. Wait for Trump to drop some sort of ranting missive later, because he's not going to like this one. This is civil liability against the former president because his actions inciting a riot on January 6th That's not defendable. That's not actions of a president upholding his oath to the Constitution. You don't have immunity in that circumstance.